All right, guys, look, I don't care if a murder is taking place behind this door. I don't care if somebody come through here and my head get decapitated. I'm not stopping, okay? That's the only way I'm stopping. Just drop to the floor. That's how many times I have hit the record button to do this video. We rolling, okay? I think you get the point. So let's get into it. So the last YouTube video I posted, I received feedback from a few of my buddies. People I consider good friends, okay? So people that I actually admire what they have to say. So at this point, once I received the feedback, I concluded, hey, I need to level up my cinematography skills. Now, this can also apply to photography. You know, when you receive feedback, hey, you consider, I need to level up. Now, I considered this because I realized in order for me to continue YouTube channel, I have to keep in mind that the most powerful thing I can become in this moment is a student, or AKA a learner. So I had to go back to opening myself to learn. Now, how did I do that? Let's get into it. Because at this point, how I was able to do it is first realizing that now I'm responsible for creating the look, the colors, the lighting, the outfit, the lip gloss, my hair wrap, the script, everything. Everything you see right now, everything that you're experiencing in this frame, every single shot, the B-roll, all of that falls on me. Me. Now, every photographer knows how important it is to master lighting, composition, the rules of thirds. You know the language. We know how important that is. And not all of us have a crew. We don't have a team of people to come in and do these for us. But more importantly, even though we may not have the things that we feel are necessary, sometimes you have to look at what you do have. And so we're going to talk about criticism and acknowledging opposing opinions. Now, acknowledging some opposing opinions have really helped my photography develop and improve. And this was because the feedback I was receiving, this allowed me to get out of my comfort zone. And it also forced me to develop my photography skills further because I would take the feedback and implement it, which is what I did for this video here. So once I received the feedback, I incorporated it in this particular video. Incorporating feedback for me is life to my work. To be able to accept constructive criticism and put it into action to help me improve my skills, whether it's photography, whether I'm creating t-shirts, videos, whatever the creative project is. Now, when you learn something new, that is very exciting, which it is for me. Naturally, I just get hyped. It makes me feel really confident and good when I learn something new. However, this is not where it ends, actually. Once you learn something new, it's really where it begins, because now you got to put this into action. So putting your photography a lot of times on display once you implement your feedback means you have skin in the game. Okay, so once you post a picture to IG or YouTube or videos to YouTube, whatever you're doing, it can be challenging because now, you know, you open yourself up to negative criticism or feedback. And sometimes it can hurt, you know, to hear what others have to say. But also you have to remember the process is never ending. And any feeling of achieving perfection is always false. If you think you've arrived, I promise you haven't. So it may not be easy to hear when you hear opposing opinions or feedback or negative feedback, you may think, but it shouldn't discourage you. You know, it really shouldn't discourage you. It should give you a different perspective. Now, you will appreciate criticism more when you can separate yourself from it. So realizing how much it can help you develop your skill set, again, regardless of the creative venture, it just develops you because you're not taking it personal. You're not necessarily owning it like you're a bad person. Now, honestly, in my head, when I heard the feedback about, you know, light your face a little more, or your eyes are wandering. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is like Hollywood great here, you know? But I didn't notice my eyes were wandering all over the frame. And I also didn't notice that, you know, it may appear to be a little darker for others who may be watching. But I didn't take the feedback personally. Instead, I listened to it, you know? I listened to what they had to say, and I re-evaluated the lighting on my face. I re-evaluated all of this. So when it came time to shoot this video, I incorporated that video. Now, how did I do that? Let's get to it. I went on Amazon, of course. I went on Amazon and I purchased an inexpensive teleprompter, which I'm praying to the grace of God my iPad doesn't fall off. But I bought a teleprompter and I put a little more thought into setting up my light and improving my background, which is what you see now. Now, this was accomplished in a few ways, and I'm going to share what I did to change my setup. The first thing I did was I switched modifiers on my key light. So I switched from what I was using, which was a grid, a softbox with a grid, to a Godox, what they call a lantern softbox, which produces a beautiful soft light. I really like it. It's very soft, diffused light. So I switched over from my moody dark light. I like contrast. I like that indie film look, but I was open to try something different. So, hey. Also, I thought about, hey, let's add some texture to the background. These walls are pretty bland, look like government walls, nothing fancy here. So what I did was I purchased what they call cookie blinds from a company named Kupo. K-U-P-O. Now, you can find them on Amazon. Now, the cookie blinds are actually, or cookie cutters have another name, but I am not going there today. But you can find them known as cookie blinds. They're made out of wood, which are really well built. I spent about $100 plus on them, but it was worth it. Now, the purpose of the cookie blinds, why I purchased them, was because I could use them to add shadows and interest and texture to the background by allowing light to pass through the blinds as if they were giving off this Venetian look, this Venetian blinds look. So, hey, you grew up during my era, you had Venetian blinds. So it gives off that looks, which I think is really cool on the background. But I also had to consider, this is a lot of light, so I got to control the light. So in order to do that, and to keep my light from spilling all over the scene, I use these reflective barn doors in order to control my light. And also to spice up the scene, I added a gel, a blue, just, you know, something light, nothing too dark, but just a blue gel to throw on the background. So after I did all this, which I learned from YouTube, I continued to look at others and their platforms, experienced and non-experienced, to learn new skills to improve my craft. Now, you can also do this as far as photography. You know, take a look at other experienced YouTubers or non-YouTubers to see what they're doing. You don't have to mimic them, but it can be inspirational, and you can try to go out and incorporate a lot of these things. I also put more thought into my background. Now, how was I able to do this? I simply just added to my display a couple of cameras. That's what you see behind me. Plus, I added some creative RGB light tubes by Nanolight. I really like these. They're called 6C Pavo tubes. This is 2. I can control the settings from my phone, and they just add beautiful colors, and I really like them. They're small, you can put them anywhere, and it really helped me to rethink my setup and my lighting design with these little creative tubes, because I could put them wherever I wanted. So even though the setup took a lot of effort, it took time, it took money, yes, money, and patience, but receiving feedback or criticism from my friends inspired this, and it allowed me to improve on my cinematic lighting techniques. It also helped me to improve my perspective in terms of getting better, which also is a good skill set as a photographer. So overall, I'm pleased with the results. And, you know, hey, I look forward to things getting even better. So I know it's going to get better from here. So what do you think? Any feedback, any thoughts? Love to hear from you. But I want to leave you with this before we go. I want you to remember, a good critique should be able to point out shortcomings and inconsistency. That's good feedback. But it also should come with advice and guidance on how to work through them. So you don't want to just get part of it, everything's wrong, but how to improve it, you know, how to get better. So the most apparent benefit of critiques is their value in pointing out these improvements, but also the most important part of it is the recommendation. So you must know the difference between the two, and you don't allow just anyone to speak negative feedback into your life or get inside your head. You know, you want to take it from people that really want to see you make it and really want to see you improve. So someone who is just being negative, or what we call a hater, you have to kind of just learn how to, you know, eat the meat and spit out the bones. You want to receive feedback from people who are intentionally looking to point out how to improve, not just intentionally looking for the negative details, or someone that wants to discredit you and your work. So thank you guys for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to hit the like button on your way out if you learned something today, or just hit it anyway because it took forever to get this done. And if you find this information also helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining. And as always, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care.